Here on Easter Sunday in Oakland, the Cleveland Guardians are going to try and do something that's very difficult. Sweep a four-game series on the road. Right now, the Guards, with 26 runs, lead the American League. Can that offense continue to pummel the baseball today in Oakland? Guardians Live, right now. Welcome in to Guardians Live, presented by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. And as per usual, plenty of great seats still available at the Oakland Coliseum for today's Easter Sunday affair between Cleveland and Oakland.
Yeah, and a green t-shirt giveaway day a bit early there, first series of the year. But, hey, you got some Gardo fans out there and looking for that sweep today in Oakland.
We'll see if the Guards can get it done. It'd be a great way to open the season 4-0. One of the toughest things to do in baseball, sweep a four-game series on the road. Hi again, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Easter. Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski. Happy Easter, my friend.
You too. Hopefully the Easter Bunny brings more runs that we've seen the last 3 days.
Yeah.
And, hey, a four-game sweep to start the year, that's pretty good stuff.
And cookies on the hill, too. More about him coming up. But first, let's take a look at our top of the order here today on Guardians Live. Three things to keep in mind. First up, that run differential. It's a plus 19. Best in club history over 3 games.
Yeah, as we said, most runs is scored in the American League thus far. Let's not forget my pitching compadres, right? How about a 192 average against, holding A's hitters below the Mendoza line through the first 3 games of this series?
So that's pretty impressive. The Guards averaging just under 9 runs per game, and they're doubling up, too. 12 doubles leads Major League Baseball overall. They have 16 extra base hits in just 3 games.
8 different players out with a double. 16 total extra base hits for the club so far. And that all-important category with runners in scoring position, a blistering 357 out of the chute.
And finally, in our top of the order, an old friend is getting a start today. His first as a Guardian since September 25th of 2020. Welcome back, Carlos Carrasco.
We'll turn back the clock moment today, huh? Great to see Cookie back and on the mound. Hey, 2-1 with a 2.54 ERA and 4 career starts at the Oakland Coliseum with a 160 average against.
Well, this is certainly a great story that Carlos Carrasco comes back to the place he loves, and of course we all love him here as well, and getting to make that start today. And no doubt it's a special day, and it was a special moment when Carlos Carrasco learned that he had made the club.
It was really emotional because every time, even when I was here, and all those years that I signed the contract here in 17, 18, and 19, I always come in here to get a job. I never feel like, okay, I already have this. No. I never feel that way because the same way that I was working on the minor league to get in here. So is that a lot of people now, they do the same job, just coming here. So I always working hard.
Well, Carlos Carrasco's had some big moments on the mound for Cleveland in the past, Jensen. And back in 2015 is when we really saw him take those steps forward and become a dominating pitcher in the American League.
Remember the transition where he really struggled in the rotation, had to go to the bullpen. It was Kevin Cash who really got him into that bullpen mentality. He got the opportunity with that start against the New York Yankees, and his career retook off from there. And great to see him now as the grizzled vet, right? He's come back. He's seen everything, and what a great boost to this young pitching staff as well.
Hard to believe almost 9 years have passed since his almost no-hitter down at the Trop against Tampa Bay. July 1st of 2015, 8 2/3 innings of no-hit baseball.
Yeah, the Butler did it, right? That was the call. And, gosh, if Jason Kipnis had a little bungee cord that he could have gotten on to catch that ball, we would have seen history. But 1 hit, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts on 124 pitches that night.
And if Jason Kipnis would have had about another 6 inches, it would have been a no-hitter. He gave every effort he could there. Cookie was clapping. There's Kip saying, oh, man, I almost had it. But what a great outing that was.
Yeah, it was. And again, a place where he was so comfortable in. But how about in the division now? This was a scintillating start on September 25th of 2015. One of his second-to-last starts to finish the season. Another one-hitter, Al, but a career-high 15 strikeouts, only 2 walks on 113 pitches.
Well, he was certainly special against the Kansas City Royals on this day back in 2015 with those 15 strikeouts. And Carlos Carrasco, again, at this time, one of the more dominating pitchers in the American League. And he held that title for a couple of years. Along with Corey Kluber, they formed quite a 1-2 punch. But then, as we know, he dealt with some adversity here in Cleveland, but he's gotten through it. Of course, he had to deal with cancer. He had to deal with Tommy John, but he's gotten through it to the point where here he is today, 37 years old, back on the hill for Cleveland. Remember the All-Star game in 2019 and how special this was.
So neat, right? What a day for Cleveland, not only with Carlos Carrasco coming back onto the field, but Shane Bieber winning the Most Valuable Player award. And I think for him, just a moment in time, he'll never forget the journey as an individual to overcome that. So many people can relate. And more importantly, he was such an inspiration for so many people dealing with those types of cancer.
And for those of you that donate to cancer research, Cookie is a great person to take a look at. Because of the advances, they've been able to really have that cancer under control to the point where he's still a Major League Baseball pitcher. He came back, of course, to the Hill in 2019 on September 1st. Even the Rays gave him a standing ovation and welcomed him back to the mound.
It's his home away from home, right? And what a great place for him to get back in. He threw an inning, gave up 1 run on 2 hits, but no one cared about the box score. It was all about seeing big number 59 back where he belongs.
Well, he's a tremendous person, obviously a tremendous pitcher, too, to pitch this long at the big league level and to be so good for so long. He's on the backside of his career, no doubt, but to have him around is so big, and not just on the mound, but to have him around to be in the clubhouse, to be a leader. He does all those things, and he's got a pretty good sense of humor, too.
He can really break up a locker room when you need it, and you need those guys. How about this? You remember the mini baseballs? This was such a big thing.
That was Michael Brantley.
Yep.
Here's Cody Allen.
And we know Trevor Bauer was in on it, too, but the mastermind?
Brian Shaw.
None other than Carlos Carrasco, for sure. So
Look
many
at Santana, yes. Carlos Santana, and then finally Cookie. There he is, when he had that big goatee. Remember, he was able to put that on. So it's pretty impressive the way Carlos Carrasco, he's an artist, he's a ball player. He's funny. He's got that sense of humor. And maybe, I don't know, maybe he's going to be a sideline reporter when he's all said and done here.
Well, what a boost to the broadcast team he'd be, right? Bilingual, we know that for sure. But you talked about that sense of humor. It was hysterical. This wasn't planned, by the way.
He took his mic. He took Andre's mic, and he said, that's my mic now.
Do your job, man. It was fun to see him do that in Detroit.
Well, it certainly looks like Cookie is back to his old tricks.
I feel good. I'm more excited for tomorrow. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. Why are you excited for tomorrow?
I'm excited because Cookie Carrasco is going to be on the mound for the Cleveland Guardians.
Oh, that's the guy who's coming back to Cleveland?
Yeah.
All right.
And he's got a cool hat. He's got number 21 on the back of his hat. That means he's a Roberto Clemente guy, which always is big.
All right.
What are you excited? Thank you very much. What are you excited for?
I'm excited to coming back here with my team. The first 2 games been great. Just can't wait to see the 3rd game today.
Oh, yeah?
So, but I'm really excited for to be here.
So you see what this guy brings to a ball club. It's not just what he does between the lines, but it's what he does outside the lines, too. Somebody like him, and, you add him with Austin Hedges, and those type of leaders in the clubhouse, they can make a difference mentally for a club over 162 games.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Tanner Bybee, a Logan Allen, a Gavin Williams, guys that are just really cutting their teeth here at the Major League level, what a great resource to be able to bounce things off of. And as Carlos Carrasco has shown you, he's kind of that father figure, too, in this portion of his career. Yeah, he wants to be as impactful as possible on the mound, but kind of, dueling roles for him. Help these young guys really become great Major League starting pitchers and chip in when he can as well.
All right, let's take a look at the Oakland A's lineup that he's going to face today. It's brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers, as we've talked about all weekend. Not a lot of danger here, but there are now a couple of players you got to be aware of. Seth Brown, again, lefty on righty, always a good hitter, but J.D. Davis, great start to the year. The Giants said forget about him when they got Matt Chapman. Now the A's are saying, hey, we're pretty happy we got J.D. Davis.
Well, he's motivated, no question about it, because we know the A's aren't really going anywhere this year. And for him, it's all about continuing to pad the resume. You could definitely see him out as a trade chip come trade deadline. Off to a rolling start so far with a clean 400 average.
Yeah, a couple of home runs, too, at the Oakland Coliseum. Not an easy place to hit the long ball. So J.D. Davis off to a good start, even though most of the rest of his teammates are not, and the A's are 0-3. But there are some hitters here you've got to be careful with. Speaking of which, 1 through 9 right now. The Guardians lineup is looking pretty good. I get it's against A's pitching, but they have come out smoking here in 2024. We'll talk more about it next.